What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid and welcome to my guide for Crisis Core Reunion. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys the absolute best and fastest way to farm Gail in the whole game. And despite what you might be thinking if you played the original on the PSP, it is not the maneuver trick. Unfortunately, that is fixed in this version of the game. This seems to be based on the Japanese port of the original, which unfortunately means anytime you quit out a mission, you do not get to keep any of the items, which means no 99 Phoenix Down steals, unfortunately. So we're going to have to go to a backup. What does that mean? Well, that means that now the best way of farming Gail actually comes from a different mission. But we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's take a look at the setup needed to actually pull this off. So when it comes to equipment, this is actually not as bad as you might think. Also, I will say this can be done from the second you get to Chapter 4. Okay, the minute you start Chapter 4, you can do this. Also, make sure once you do start Chapter 4, you unlock your extra accessory slots from missions. Just makes things so much easier. Now, in terms of actual equipment, what I will say is the jeweled ring is not required, okay? This is not required. It doubles items dropped by an enemy. We don't care about dropped items. The only reason I have this on is simply due to the fact the enemy we are going to be fighting does also drop a mithril item, which comes in handy for stat maxing. So that is the only reason that I have this on, just because it saves a little bit of time on that side of things as well. We have the Genji glove, which we're going to be using for the break damage limit. This is super important, okay? You definitely need to break damage limit for this method. If you don't have a Genji glove, that is fine. You can also use a brutal. However, getting either of these this early is definitely a challenge, and some of the missions are incredibly difficult early on. So just be warned. Then we have the Mog's Amulet. Now this is highly important. Items dropped or stolen will always be rare. What we need is a rare steal. So the fact that we can guarantee that is just tremendously helpful. And then last but not least, we are using the Zaydreek. Now this isn't actually for defense, okay? I am using this simply for the extra 100 magic that this gives. Okay, that is the only reason we are doing this, because we are going to have to kill something as well, so the extra damage will really come in handy. Other than that, when it comes to materia, you need to have mug or steel. This method does involve stealing, so mug or steel is 100% required, unfortunately. Don't worry too much about your HP. You shouldn't really ever be getting hit doing this method, so you can change that to something if you want. Personally, I would say dual cast is pretty much required for this method. It's technically not, but it speeds things up tremendously. Like, it literally doubles the speed that we do this method at. And then, of course, there is Electrocute as well. Electrocute is going to be our big damage attack. Now, yes, there are things like Costly Punch in the game. Costly Punch only hits once, though. Whereas Electrocute hits multiple times, especially with dual cast as well, allowing us to do a lot more damage a lot faster to this particular enemy. And so for optimal damage, we're going to use Electrocute, because hey, optimal damage, optimal speed. Now, what you should also focus on is MP, okay? You want to go into this fight with as much MP as possible, and of course as much magic as possible as well. So, how exactly do we earn upwards of 15 million gil an hour with no maneuver trick? Well, it is going to be a mission. So we are going to go to mission 962. Okay, this is called the lowest tier. And all we want to do in this mission is very simple. We want to run through to the very end of the mission. And we can do this by skipping all random encounters as well. All you have to do is run along the edges of the actual field while looking at the wall. If you don't know, random battles are not actually random in Crisis Core. The way they are determined is your location on the field and where you are looking. So by not looking at where the enemy spawns, you will not actually get into an encounter. So once you get through... Okay, well I kind of died there, that's bad. Once you actually get through to the Holy Tomberry, you are going to steal. The item we are after is the gold rolling pins, and when you steal from Holy Tomberry, you get 4 of them. Each gold rolling pin sells for a whopping 50,000 gil a time. So by getting 4, then we end up stealing a grand total of 200,000 gil, super easily. Now, yes, you can die sometimes, but it's not super common. So all you're gonna do now is spam Electrocute, and as you can see, it does massive damage. Although we did get Item Mugger, so we are absolutely going to use that. Normally for the DMW, you never ever want to use any of this because it will slow you down, okay? The only reason we're doing it is because we just got 5 gold rolling pins from it. When it comes to the magic pot, any time that you get level 5 of that, use it, okay? Because you can get either 1 ribbon, 1 gold rolling pin, 3 gold rolling pins, or 5 gold rolling pins. Because look at that, that basically took just a minute. Yes, I died, but you know, that's what happens when you're recording a video. Sometimes you don't pay as much attention. So if we go to sell right now, as you can see, gold rolling pins, I just got 9 of them, 4 from the steal, 5 from the magic pot. That's 500,000 gil in about a minute. So let's do that one more time, only this time, hopefully, no deaths. So once again, we're going back to mission 962. So all we're going to do is run around the edges. Once again, we're going to quickly get to Tomberry. We are going to steal, and we are going to kill it. And then we're just going to repeat the process. Now, one of the things I will say is you can use an accessory to guarantee you 100% steal chance. However, personally, I find the other accessories to be better, and the extra kill time more than makes up for the steal time, in my opinion. Obviously, it is a little RNG, you know, when you actually get the steals. Sometimes you'll get it every time. Sometimes it could take a bit of time. But right there, second time, that's fine for me. And so now we're just going to murder it. And as you can see, using Electrocute, like with the break damage limit, it dies pretty quick. Unfortunately, I got a little too cocky there. But yeah, as long as you play it a little bit safer than I am doing. Look, I've been doing this for a while, okay? It's like I need a huge amount of SP for what I'm currently trying to do. So yeah, I've been doing this for a very long time, and unfortunately, I've started to get very cocky on the method. What I will say is, I know there are going to be people out there who would like to do the Crystal Bangle method. That is unfortunately much slower in terms of gil generated. I have tried them both. I checked them both over the period of 1 hour to check the results for them both. Unfortunately, it is literally less than half the gil available. So that's why you want to do the Holy Tomberry. Because on the bright side, you also get 20,000 gil per kill, and you get 4 mithril drops, which can be used for stat maxing as well. But there we go, guys. This is the best method in Crisis Core Reunion on how to farm gil, simply due to the fact we have no maneuver method. Still, that is going to be it for this video, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I hope it has helped you on your way to getting infinite SP and maxing out all of your lovely materia. If it has, please be sure to smash that like button, and of course, drop a comment down below. And if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. I have plenty more Crisis Core Reunion guides coming for you guys, which I definitely think you are going to enjoy, so make sure you check them out. As always though, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.